Hey, it's your man Talent from hisandhermoney.com. Hey, we need to talk for a little bit. You know what one of the biggest things that could destroy your relationship is? Isolation. That's right. I know probably when I said that, a lot of the sayings out there is, infidelity. Those are the number one destroyers of relationships and marriages. But the truth is, those are just the leaves, the fruit of isolation. A lot of times, us being isolated on our own little island inside of a relationship is what causes its destruction. And I want to talk about how that looks. There's various ways that can manifest, but one way that I think is so deceptive that we overlook because it's maxed in a sense of, pride and a sense of doing the right thing. And this is how it looks. A lot of times when we first get into a relationship or when we first come together as a married couple, we have the biggest dreams in the world. We're planning our future. We're talking about the things we're going to do. We even try some things. We try to invest here, or we try to maybe move to a new city for a new outlook on life and a new fresh start. Like, we are more apt to try to do big things and dream big dreams at the beginning of our relationship. But what happens is time goes on, right? And then things start to get into our life that is quote unquote, what we're supposed to be doing, right? We advance in our careers. We begin to have children, and we have been married for a little while now. And the routine of life slowly starts to bury away those big dreams, those lofty ambitions. Why? Because, we have kids we have to tend to. We have more responsibility on our jobs that we have to. Maybe we're involved in our church and we just don't have the time to dream big anymore. And what happens? We end up within ourselves on an island away from that ambitious part of ourselves. We send that off into the atmosphere because we now tell ourselves, we're now programmed, self-programmed to preserve or to enhance the welfare of those in our charge or those in our care. So now our whole focus becomes on, okay, let's get a house, and now let's move to a good school district, and now I want to make sure my wife is good, or I want to make sure my husband is good. And that little childlike faith that you used to have when you were younger gets further and further buried. And you know what happens? Secretly, bitterness builds up, right? Because you see other people doing this, that, and the other, and they may be doing some of the very things that you said that you were going to do 10 years ago. You said at this point in your life, you were going to have X, Y, and Z, and you see that it hasn't happened, and bitterness starts to set in. Nobody else could be doing anything wrong. Your spouse could be doing the right thing. Your kids could be doing the right thing, but you begin to get that bitterness inside, and you begin to look at them as the reason why you weren't able to accomplish those lofty ambitions and goals that you have for yourself. Why? Because you were isolated from your dreams. And that's dangerous. Now, what do we do if we find ourselves in this predicament? We have to go back to that place. We have to pull out the shovel and we have to dig up those old dreams and those old goals. Because guess what? If it was something that was really a passion of yours, that was super burning, chances are it came from God. He put that in you. He put that desire, that passion in you. And when you buried it, man, you're cutting yourself off from the things that He has called you to do. Now, does this give you license to just say, well, that's right. You know what? I'm going to chase my dreams. I'm going to give my 2 weeks at my job and I'm going to go after that thing. That would be ridiculous, right? Because my Bible tells me that a man that doesn't take care of his own household is worse than an unbeliever. So it's not that you just throw everything to the wind in pursuit of going back to find those dreams and ambitions, but you can do it responsibly. Maybe you had a desire to become a real estate investor and you put that all to the side because you can't take those types of risks because you got a family now. Now maybe you can't just jump into real estate right away, because of this financial obligation or this time constraint. But what you could do is you could start reading books about real estate investing. You can start watching YouTube videos about real estate investing. Nothing is stopping you from acquiring the knowledge. And I bet you, if you start to acquire the knowledge, you'll start to see that there's some other avenues. Maybe you had an ambition to start your own online business, or maybe you had the ambition to travel overseas. Maybe you can't just jump out the gate and do it tomorrow, but can you start building a plan that can get you from where you are today to that place? You got to get out the shovel. You have to unbury those dreams, those goals, and you have to create a plan, a reasonable plan. Bring your spouse in on it. Talk, open up, say, man, you know what? There's a part of me that I buried, that I left, and I want to get it back. I bet you your partner will be your biggest cheerleader. A lot of times we feel like because we've made it to a certain place in life that we can't go back. Like, you know, I got too much on my plate. There's no way I can make this happen. God says that all things are possible with him. Yeah, it seems impossible to man, but everything is possible with God. You need to first go back, dream, make a plan, and execute it, because your wife, your husband, your kids, they want the best version of you. And if you are only operating at 50%, 75% because there's a part of you that you buried, you're not doing them the justice that they deserve. You're not actually giving them your all. So go back, wake that dream up, wake that ambition up, go get that passion back and move forward, because the whole world is waiting on you to operate at your full potential and your full strength. Well, that's all I got for this time, guys. I hope this is helpful, and I hope that you guys are gonna go unbury every last one of those dreams that you had. Until next time, guys, it's been great. Peace.